Yo, what is up everybody? Arashi here back again with another upload. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Acolyte episode 5, in which this episode was probably the best of the season so far. From a story standpoint, it's still really stupid, and some of the moments that happen are still really dumb, but I'm not gonna lie, this fight scene was freaking sick, dude. I mean, the Sith here, he's officially confirmed a Sith too. He's using cortosis or whatever the heck it's called. I can't remember the metal's name, but it's a metal that is able to short out lightsabers. It was in Star Wars Legends and in Disney canons. Now, obviously now it's canon, which I honestly can appreciate from Disney for adding that in. That's really cool. And he used this a plethora of times. I mean, the way he utilized his helmet in the fight, the way he utilized his one brace that's made of cortosis, that was just sick. I mean, the choreography in this episode was phenomenal. I can see where the budget went, as I kind of predicted earlier before Acolyte even actually dropped. I said the budget probably went to choreography and set pieces, and obviously that's where it's gone. And also, round of applause for my new favorite character on Acolyte, and that is Quamir, the Sith or Acolyte, whatever you want to call him. There's a lot of theories going around that he's actually the first incarnation of a Knight of Ren, or people call him Smilo Ren, which is pretty funny. I honestly think his helmet's pretty cool personally, but I understand the memes and I do laugh at them. But honestly, never in my life have I rooted for the villain so hard since Darth Vader was on screen. I mean, Darth Vader was the first character that I was introduced to in terms of Star Wars, and that he was one of my favorites. But anyway, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to start off with the good of this episode. And to me personally, it was great to see lightsabers be deadly again. But what I mean by that is Jedi were actually dying to a stab. Like, oh my gosh, we've had Reva, we've had Sabine, we've had so many characters survive a lightsaber stab, and now we finally get a character that doesn't survive it, and that was Jeki, and I'll get to that point in a little bit. But my goodness, the moves that Quamir was pulling off is insane. At one point, he was fighting two of the no-name Jedi, and then he stabbed one of them and then used the Force to pull the other Jedi towards the back of the other Jedi, and he just got a double kill right there. It was insane. I'll eventually try to find a clip. It's kind of hard to get the clips without running into copyright issues right now, but the choreography was top notch. And another thing that I can also start off and say that is good, because honestly, I didn't think that Disney had the gall to even try it. I didn't think they had the balls to do it, but they killed off about half of the entire Jedi cast outside of Soul. Every single last one of them had died, and that was really interesting to see, because that at least furthered the plot a little bit and makes it make sense that Ki-Adi-Mundi would not know of a Sith in the future. Because after this, maybe he goes and he takes out Soul, actually, because so far it's your Jeki and a few others that are dead from the main cast that I could think about. But overall, the return of Ki-Adi-Mundi is still really stupid. I mean, beyond stupid. But anyway, to the good of the episode, actually, because I am going to just talk about the good, I have to give flowers where flowers due. As I said, the choreography was great. The Sith, he's a nice villain. I like his overall brutality. His brutality, he doesn't give a flying crap, guys. This guy is murdering things left and right. He said that they said a line in here which didn't make any sense, which is I'm going to get into later with the bad part of the episode, where they're like, oh, he fights with no rules. It's like, dude, of course. Can you not tell that he's a Sith? Okay, let me actually talk about the bad of this episode so far. Why are the Jedi so confused by a Sith? I mean, I understand that they hadn't been seen in thousands of years at this point, but what exactly are they teaching in freaking Jedi history class? I mean, come on, they have to be teaching about the past Jedi and the Sith, and that they could eventually rise again. I mean, are they not talking about that in the academy at all? Like, what's going on? I mean, it just really doesn't make any sense to me. Can you not feel the darkness within him? Are they not teaching that whatsoever at the academy? I mean, maybe this is why the Jedi ended up failing in the future. But that's besides the point right now. I mean, right now, I'm just still going on about the choreography and the fighting. That was just great to see. Honestly, I hope that Disney continues this. Or, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's as good as the past. I don't think it's as good as Phantom Menace or, Revenge of the Sith, but that's peak fighting. I mean, that's kind of hard to measure that too. So, but right now, for what we've had from Disney the past couple years, so whoever this fight choreographer is, keep up the great work. I have to give props where props is due, or credit where credit is due, I should say. But unfortunately, that's about where the good of this episode actually ends. I mean, the choreography was great, as I said, and the brutality of this new Sith or Quamir is great. If you were to take this whole scene out of, which is pretty much the whole episode, but if you were to take this whole part out of the episode, it would still be, I don't know where the story is necessarily heading. Osha has another chance to capture May, and May also has another chance. After pleading and saying that she was going to turn herself into the Jedi, she decides to fight back and refuse to get captured again. And then also at the same time, she attacks Osha and cuts her hair so that she looks like Osha now. And she's traveling back to Coruscant with Soul now, and which also still doesn't really make much sense. I mean, now she's deciding to go back on her word once again and then head back to Coruscant to infiltrate the Jedi? Question mark? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. She just needs to commit to a plan. And the other thing that really doesn't make any sense is Jackie and fought May at one point trying to apprehend her. I mean, obviously she wasn't trying to kill her. She was just trying to take her in. She also nearly loses to May, but then right after that, she's able to take on Quamir, who just took out about 8 different Jedi and snapped Yor's neck. It just didn't make any sense because the power scale wasn't necessarily established with Jackie yet. I mean, she just went from fighting May, barely winning, to now being able to take on and push back Quamir, who just took out about 8 different Jedi. Just a little Jedi Padawan, but at the same time, it was pretty cool because she ends up using 2 lightsabers and then actually gets killed by Quamir. And then these creatures that Moshe stumbled upon earlier, she ends up luring Quamir into a trap, and then those creatures carry Quamir off into the darkness, into the top trees, which doesn't make any sense at all either. This is a guy who just offed 7 or 8 Jedi, and next thing you know, he's being carried off by some random creatures. Why didn't he was able to force push 7, 8 Jedi at the same time too, so why isn't he able to just force freeze these creatures and take them all out at once? I don't know, man. Some things in the show just doesn't really make any sense to me. But overall, I'd have to give this episode about a 4 out of 10. Because as I said, the fights that were going on were insane. They were really cool to see. It was really cool to see the brutality of Quamir, who is now my favorite character on the show. And the choreography, the sounds, the set design were absolutely awesome and ominous. But at the same time, the story still doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, maybe the story will make sense as those episodes go on, but I kind of highly doubt it at this point. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. May the Force be with you, and as always, have a great rest of your day.